welcome to the Associated Guests. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. Today, we're going to get into Minnesota and Venezuela. Some would say Somalia is the new name of Minnesota. We'll see. But first, we're going to get into something I wasn't going to talk about, but it happened to pop up and everyone's talking about it. So, which is the ICE shooting, as it's being labeled. The ICE just shot a woman. Let's get in to see what actually happened in this situation.
Justifications all stemming from a video of a certain angle showing what happened between ICE agents and the woman who is unfortunately no longer on this earth.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood!
And this is the angle that people are using, like they just shot her out of nowhere. There's actually 3 angles in this situation.
Dude, what the fuck?
And you'll see people crafting whatever story they want to tell.
If only any of these people were on the other side of the road.
To be aware that there is not just one angle of what occurred.
I love how people use the Krasensteins like they're an authority on anything.
Argument, and maybe it's a little controversial, that 2 of these angles help create a stronger story about what's actually going on here. You will have a witness telling the story and how she views it.
Number of neighbors who are observers on the sidewalk on the west side of Portland Avenue. There was also a number of federal agents. I'm not sure how many, but at least 7 or 8 in the area. There was one agent right next to the driver's side window of the vehicle of the woman who was shot. And I could see that he was yelling at her, but I was too far away. I couldn't hear anything that he said.
After that exchange, she drove.
It was probably something like, "Don't put your foot on that gas, bitch."
In her vehicle, and that was the time that the officer fired.
After those moments, a lot of people ran in to help. So kind of walk me through what happened after the woman in the vehicle crashed.
Yeah, it was horrible. I mean, she crashed her car into a parked car in front of me. She was clearly unconscious. A neighbor ran across the street and opened her car door to see if she could provide any assistance or medical assistance. There was a lot of yelling and screaming and concern from the neighbors. The woman who at the time that
look, she says all this.
The neighbor, and so I took the dog away from the scene.
She talks about taking the dog away. She wanted to make sure the dog was safe.
I wasn't able to return to the scene for a while.
There was a dog from someone who was trying to help.
Watching this play out.
What I expected going around the corner is that I would observe immigration enforcement activity, that I would maybe take video. Nowhere in my wildest imagination did I expect that somebody would be killed. And the presence of a firearm, the shooting of somebody who was moving away in their vehicle,
that's not what happened.
Really scary.
That is not what happened. Well, he's going to show the video here in a little bit, but this is not what happened.
The presence of law enforcement, their role and responsibility is to protect people, to protect neighbors.
Yes. However, if you fuck with them, as this person did, and I'll get to my thoughts on the actual activist in the car when we get to the video. That's what law enforcement's there for. However, if you fuck with them, I'm not going to say the other part because conservatives are saying that, and I hate it. I watched the Hodge Twins video. I like the Hodge Twins for the most part, but their takes on certain things, especially anything having to do with Jewish folk, not particularly based. They take the Candace Owen, Myron Gaines angle, and those two are both retards, just so you know.
To keep people safe, and it was terrifying. And it just happened, so I can tell, I can still feel the fear and anxiety in my body.
Okay, and still processing that situation, I'm sure. Is there anything else you want our viewers to know just about what you saw, what you experienced today?
Well, the reason I wanted to make sure that I could talk with you is because I want to make sure that what happened is out in the open, and so folks can make up their own minds about what happened here today.
That's what the news reporter's there for, not you, not your false account of what happened. Okay, This isn't what she's saying is her own little personal lofty view of what happened from the side of the car where she couldn't see the front of the vehicle and where she probably wasn't paying attention, and her and her activist buddies are like, hey guys, we hate ICE, yeah.
And I want to make sure that, you know, it was a horrible thing to witness.
You didn't witness it.
Hopefully if there's some hope for change, I want to make sure that we can make sure the truth is known. Any law enforcement officer should be here to protect us, and what's happening now is just terrifying. It's just terrorizing.
Notice how long this
Makes
bitch
us
was
feel really
talking.
unsafe in our neighborhoods and our homes.
Well, thank you, Betsy, so much for taking the time to talk with us.
If law enforcement makes you uncomfortable, don't block them from doing their jobs. You can protest, but if you intervene, if you get in the way, if you get in front of their vehicles with your vehicle, they will rip you out of your vehicle. That's an automatic arrest thing right there. It's a I can't think of the term. It's still early in the morning. Here in the next week or two, I'm probably going to shift to afternoon streams just because of scheduling. Hopefully, I'll be more in my head at the end of the day. We'll see.
A very traumatic experience, so please take care of yourself.
And then you'll have video evidence making it seem a little bit different while also creating some nice little holes that are filled by the gaps placed in people giving their opinions.
Which is
And
what the
from what
Krasensteins are
I
putting
see
out.
in
Gotta love the
all of these
Krasensteins.
videos, but specifically the two that matter, is a woman seemingly blocking off ICE agents in their cars trying to, I guess, patrol the area and making sure that they find some illegal immigrants. They get out of the car. They tell the woman to get the fuck out of the car. All the while, there is an officer that no one can see that is in front of said vehicle. And
Which you can't see in the video that everyone's putting out, especially the grifter hacks online like the Krasensteins. But in the other video that they won't play, despite going through the comment section on their X accounts, and it's saying, hey, play the other video. Hey, play the other video. Here's a link to the other video, which they clearly haven't clicked on.
as they're trying
Or
to
have and said,
out of
oh,
the
shit,
car
I'm not
and
posting
tell her
that.
to get the fuck out of it, she decides to back up and tries to flee. And in doing so, either
And I
she's
hate that
not
he puts
aware
that up there.
or telling her to get the fuck out of it.
But as you can see, this car pulls up. One officer comes out here to the side of the vehicle. The other one, stupidly, goes in front of the vehicle as she's backing up. And then she puts it in drive while he's still in front of the vehicle. Not this guy. This guy peeking over his shoulder here. He's in front of the vehicle. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's watch. In real time,
To get her
as this
out
shit
of the
happens,
car
he
and
walks up.
telling her to get
You can
the
see the
fuck
shadow
out
of the cop in
she
front right
decides to
there.
back up and tries to flee. And in doing so, either she's not aware or
Now, you can argue all day as to whether or not that was a justified action, but if you've seen a lot of these cop videos where they start shooting at people, they empty the clip. While this guy was quick to draw that motherfucker, he only shot 3 rounds. He shot until the vehicle was clearly not being accelerated naturally. But she was about to run it into him. You're already going to be arrested or detained for oh shit, interfering with the police investigation or whatever, and then that's again either a ticket or an arrestable offense. I'm not 100% sure, but that's already, they got you. They don't have to ask you for your everyone thinks just because you're in your vehicle they have to ask you for your license and registration. No, they don't. Not if you put people's lives in jeopardy, or not if you've thrown your vehicle to block the road. They don't have to do that, especially when they're doing what has been ordered of them. You can disagree or agree with that all you want, and you can agree or disagree whether or not the person who pulled the gun out was justified in doing so, but you cannot hide the fact that he was in front of the vehicle when she hit the gas. Now, I'll give her this benefit of this doubt.
as they're trying to get her out
Right here, this guy slams his hands right there, probably due to frustration, because from the report says they were stuck on the ice, ironically, Excuse me. And this guy's frustrated, runs over, slams his hands on the window or the windowsill or whatever the hell you call that, at the top of the door. And as he does that, she backs up. You can see her reverse lights is already on. And she accelerates. First of all, if you're an activist, you can't be there ain't no such thing as halfway crooks, okay? You're either in or you're out. If you put yourself in between these people and their duties, you are forfeit, and you have to be prepared for that to happen. Most of these people are kids or adult kids who were never told no in their whole little life and told that every little thought that they had was special and made them gifted and they was ahead of the curve and, oh, my kid is the best ever. But that's mostly from parents that didn't really even spend time with you. I believe you two over in the Kick Chat. However, no thank you. I appreciate the engagement. But this person clearly intervened, but didn't want the repercussions for her intervention. And I hope to God, they're saying, all reports are saying that she is a mother. She's a 35, 37-year-old mother. I hope to God that baby wasn't in the car. I hadn't heard anything about that. Maybe she was a grandma's.
The car, after telling her to get the fuck out of it, she decides to back up and tries to flee. And in doing so, either she's not aware or she's aware and she just doesn't care. An officer is now in front of her car, and as she's starting to move forward, officer pulls out the gun, shoots her. She goes a couple.
And I'm not here to say that she absolutely knew that cop was in front of her. Her focus was clearly on the one that slammed on the window. But at the same time, and I will not say FIFO when it comes to stuff like this, but it kind of applies. Anytime police intervene with you, especially if there's multiple in the same car and there's multiple cars, be prepared for them to surround you. You circle. This is, my God. This is. Look, I really do think that she had no idea that the person was in front of her car when she put it in drive. She probably slammed on the gas the second that she saw the cop was there, and that was it. However, she put herself in between these ICE agents and their mission. You can be as liberal as you want all day, as leftist as you want all day. You cannot avoid the reality of the situation. Is it tragic that this person has passed from this earth? 100%. 100%. But considering the events of the hostility of the politics since Trump has been a figure in the political sphere, I mean, 37 years is a good run. But this is, and if you see, I'm sure he'll show what Wall says after this. It's absolutely abhorrent.
Couple feet forward and crashes into a pole and is unfortunately dead. Circumstances that I don't wish upon anybody, because even in an interaction that's a little tense, I don't want to see people shot in ways that could potentially be avoided. And what's bothersome is how many people are choosing to ignore the layers of extra detail around this story to just burp out that ICE agents shot a random woman for no reason.
I just saw the video of the woman getting shot by ICE. Reports are saying she was killed. The video's not graphic. It's terrible, but it's not graphic. I do think you should watch it. I don't think I can post it here because TikTok will take it down, but you should go find it and watch it. Because when you watch it, you'll see that ICE officers were never in danger, and they shot her for nothing. DHS is lying to you.
I don't like that.
They're not lying. The people, the Krasensteins and all that, they're lying.
It seemed like this woman did something she shouldn't have done, which is almost run over a guy. Do I think she mowed him down? No. Because that would mean he would already be dead or on the ground. Do I think it's bad that she tried to flee the scene after being told to get the fuck out of the car, so potentially blocking off the road so that these ICE agents could do what they're assigned to be doing? Absolutely. Shouldn't really be a thing. I understand that there's hatred amongst ICE agents, but you're setting yourself up to be confronted in ways that don't benefit you when you try something that's going to create the reaction that you probably don't want unless you get it on camera. This second angle is going to be the thing that turns the conversation on its head, because if it hasn't already happened by now, eventually, as the week goes on, we're going to see people who are legal experts coming in.
And see, and shit like this that the Krasenstein retards keep putting out, this ain't gonna help anything. This ain't gonna help anything. While you watch what took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, remember that when the Nazis and Hitler's Gestapo killed innocent people in Germany, they too gaslit the public into believing these people were criminals. She was. She may not have been before this moment, but what she did was criminal. Was criminal. These are not citizens that people are snatching up, going after, and trying to get out of the state. They are not. And even the people who have their proper documents, even the ones that are citizens, they are defrauding the government for billions. They can be denaturalized and sent back. It's not because they're brown. It's not because they're African. It's not any of that. And I would have the same energy if some motherfuckers from Eastern Europe, Western Europe, anywhere in the world, Australia, came in here and did the same shit. Get them out. Get them out. But ain't the case.
And talking about how this officer had a right to pull out his gun and making sure they subdue a potential threat, because they are actively trying to get this person out of the car, and they're trying to flee the scene while an officer is in front of said car, almost running that officer over. And so in his mind, he's going to have it clicked that he must protect himself and other officers and potentially people who are up the street as this person is trying to drive off, and they decide to shoot her, which will upset a lot of people. But that will be a part of the conversation, because as quick as people are trying to make it ICE bad, it's just as quick that people are trying to make it driver inside the car also bad, or bad in herself in what it is that she tried to do in trying to stop ICE agents from driving and scoping out the area, making sure that these taco trucks have official green cards.
FAFO, but also my condolences. But let me just say this. If you try to run over a federal agent, you will get shot. Stop trying to spread this propaganda like ICE did something wrong. Move.
No, and I'm not saying they didn't do anything wrong. The man was too quick to pull his gun out, 100%. He could have just hopped out the way. But again, this is tragic that people have to find out this way, and it's only going to support their cause. It's only going to support their cause. It's going to embolden. Just look at all the retards online. Chunky Yogurt here. Saying, oh, now her son's gonna be an orphan. I don't know what stupid shit her dad, the kid's dad did, but who knows? We have to have a higher bar for taking someone's life. I don't disagree. I do think that the guy pulled his gun out. You know, I don't know if he was always ICE or what. I don't know what kind of shit this man's seen. He's probably been working on the border or doing all kinds of crazy shit. Now he's just going and detaining people who are mostly just going along with it. But seeing all this, she could have been any of us. Shut the fuck up. Only if any of us would have pulled in between in the path of these ICE agents. Beyond ashamed of my country. These people are retarded. Okay. I don't know if they're talking about this same situation. Yes, reality. Two human beings panicked in a high-pressure situation where so many things could have happened and should have gone differently. Yes. The left is saying this. I don't know about this domestic terrorism. I guess technically what the girl did, pulling in front of them, could be considered. But no, I think she is an activist who has been put... Look, you got to understand what it's like to live in Minnesota. These people are fully indoctrinated by the politicians that they voted in. They are amped up. They think everyone's out to get them. So you got to understand all that. She's probably very tense. She's probably just a regular person. This may even been the first time that she's done activism or intervened. I'm speculating a lot here. But I do think that she was scared. I do think that she didn't see the guy in front of her. And I do think, again, she pulled forward. And normally when you get charged by a vehicle, whether it's on purpose or accident, that's just what happens. Do not pull your vehicle in front of a police officer unless you are willing to go the distance. Don't do it. That being said, I think he was a little too quick. We'll follow that bitch real quick. Gonna follow those dude motherfuckers. This is just, and then this guy. We'll get to that. Hold on. I don't care. Look, I love you, gay black conservative, but come on.
Cool. I don't know what to tell you, and I don't quite know how to respond to the question other than my primary responsibility as governor is the protection of the people of Minnesota. And you can be assured whether it's the State Patrol or whether it's the National Guard, their deployment is there to protect.
You are, as the governor, you are not there to protect people. You are there to make sure that the state runs properly and that it's not defrauded and that you're not at the center of that fraud. You are also there to make sure that everything runs the way it's supposed to and that your people and their governmental needs are met. The world is not a safe place. The world is fucked up and it will beat you down if you give it. Just listen, look, go watch the movie or at least the clip from Balboa, Rocky Balboa, that movie where Sylvester Stallone's talking to the guy playing his son, Milo, blah, 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 from Heroes. The world's a mean motherfucker. And it'll beat you down if you let it. But it's not about getting hit, taking the hits. This is about taking the hits and moving forward. Okay? The world's a scary place. Most people are coddled. Their parents don't let them out of the house. Like I said, when I was young, we was allowed to get out for a little bit. And then once I hit puberty, wasn't allowed out for the rest of it. Some people are like that their entire lives. They're kept behind walls. They're kept behind gates. They're locked away. They're only allowed to see their friends when there's direct adult supervision. Someone that they trust, someone who they hang out with themselves maybe. Very coddled, very much inside of a bubble. That's what most people's lives are like these days. Unless your parents are always at work. And then it's pretty much you do whatever you want. The only reason I was stuck in the house was because my dad was sick. Someone had to take care of him. My mom was at work. But it's a thing. These people are coddled. They're scared to death. They believe what daddy and mama government tells them. Because you're supposed to be able to believe, for the most part, what they tell you. Obviously, they're lying to us about certain things that would just explode our little feeble minds. But this whole partisan divide it'll be the end of us all. And I'm glad Tim Walz is getting out. I don't like the person who's probably going to take his place. Was it Klobuchar? She's fucking unhinged. She's like Hillary Clinton on bath salts. That's a crazed bitch.
Minnesotans from whatever it is. If it's an act of nature, if it's a global pandemic, or in this case, if it is a rogue federal agent. I don't know at this time, and I want to.
It is not a rogue fucking federal agent. A little quick to the draw, maybe, but I mean, when a hysterical white woman hits the gas after she tries to stop you, you have to understand. A lot of times when someone pulls in front of you and cuts you off in a situation where you're transporting a prisoner or on your way to get to a prisoner, there's usually going to be a shootout. People are on high alert. They don't know if you got someone in the backseat of that car. Maybe I watch too many movies, but I've seen a lot of it happen in real life, mostly on video, thank God. But these are real situations. And if you're putting, I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face because I probably already am because I'm coughing so damn much. But if you are going to put yourself in the middle of that situation, you best be prepared to catch at least one. And it might be the one with your name on it. Tread lightly. Be aware of what you're getting yourself into when you put yourself in these situations. This is not you in an Antifa crowd where you've got, powered numbers. They can't get us all. And you know how safe it is to feel that way? Knowing that the cops will not just spray into the crowd. They didn't have that option in Venezuela. There, the cops is the one that run you over. Watch them videos and then tell me you want to free Maduro. I was mostly going to talk about that today, but this had to be talked about.
To be very careful. Back.
Tim Walz is a retard, by the way.
And Donald Trump and his administration may not care much about Minnesota. That's been pretty evident. But we love this state. We won't let them tear us apart. We'll not turn against each other.
Look, take the man out of the situation. If this was any other president or even any other governor, and he was and you found out that they were harboring all kinds of illegals and some of the green card holders or even fully naturalized ones in that area, and possibly even the illegal ones are committing billions of dollars of fraud. Let's flip it. Say it's a Democrat president and a conservative state. For some reason, they're concealing a bunch of fucking Norwegians or fucking South Africans or whatever the fuck. Or hell, even Venezuelans. Imagine they're harboring all kinds of that, and you find out that some of these Norwegian bastards or Danish bastards are doing billions of dollars in fraud. Would you be against ICE going and detaining those Norwegian fucks and getting them the fucks out? I'm saying, if you're okay with it one way and you're not okay with it the other way, the problem ain't with the situation. The problem's with you and whatever got you thinking this way.
To Minnesotans, I say this. I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot.
You're giving it to
If
them.
you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully as you always
And that is the only good thing he said right there. Do it peacefully. Do not interfere.
do. We can't give them what they want. The hearts and
This story has a lot of holes that are being filled in time, and as we go through it, we're going to find out how justified or unjustified this truly is. At the moment, I'm laying it all on that second angle from a distance that clearly shows that officer being in front of that car and moving out of the way from almost being mowed down. And I feel
Almost.
like that will create the strongest conversation around this woman in her actions and how justified they were and how...
But people like the Krasensteins, again, these people are grifters, okay? They're no different than Candace Owens is for the right. You have to cut through the bullshit. The Krasensteins don't offer any proof. They hide stuff because they have certain agendas. Candace Owens does the same shit. She is an awful toad of a human being. And I don't like the way her eyes never point in the same direction. That's just me, though.
Justified the shooting was. Do I think you should be actively trying to block off the road? No.
Hell
You're
no.
going to get the reaction that you're hoping for. Do
Yeah.
I feel as though if you're in this predicament...
But you're going to get a reaction that you're not prepared for. You have to find it within yourself. Are you prepared for the repercussions that are going to come from your actions? If you not, stay out the fucking way. You might get capped.
Once these motherfuckers tell you get out the car or stop the vehicle, should you stop? Yes, because doing anything else clearly demonstrates harm that will come to you and you alone. Do I think it's disingenuous to only have this conversation showing one angle instead of showing all three and discussing how two
Yes.
of them hold the most impact?
Yes.
Do I feel as though people are trying to spin it in a way that benefits whatever version of the story?
100%.
Out there? Yes. Ultimately, oh my fucking God, it's the 7th day of the year.
That's where I'm at too, brother.
We're already getting ready for the dumbest shit it has to offer. In conclusion, it is important that while things are breaking, you pay attention to stories developing. That way, you don't just stop when something benefits you and you go on with your day. Truly being invested in a story and giving out information is not just posting one thing in 1 hour and then never talking about it again until you have something that benefits you and what it is that you said the first time. It's constantly updating it and making sure that the truth and all evidence that could get us there is out for us to consume, understand, and put into our minds once we reach the inevitable conclusion of it. And unfortunately, I fear that there are some people who don't get the memo on that, and they've already dug their heels into something, and maybe they're hoping that they're right, but oh my, they might end up being wrong. But in the meantime, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel. I will
and definitely go subscribe to Ruin Leon if you haven't already. The man is on it. I met him, or at least got introduced to him on this. Chris Raygun did the same kindness that was put on him by Sargon of Akkad long time ago. I believe it was Sargon. Let him do his channel one day, and that blew Chris Raygun up, on top of how he was already blowing up. And then Chris did the same thing for Ruin Leon about half a decade back. And as you can see, Leon's doing all right. Leon is doing all right. And he got good content. He's gotten a little weird since COVID. I'm just going to say every now and then he'll say a few things that even my girl's just like, the fuck? But his accounts on the situation at hand is always on point. He's got a good head on his shoulders, smart dude. So go follow him, give him a couple of watches, see how you feel. That being said, we don't have enough time. I apologize for anyone that's here for the Crowder bit on Venezuela. I'll get that tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely hit it up on Saturday along with anything that he puts out today. It's a long video. It's almost an hour long. You know how much I talk. I don't have that kind of time in the mornings, unfortunately. But let's take a peek at this. Destiny, being as retarded as he can be, this is a fact statement right there. They don't want it that way, but that's where all their decisions is taking it. Has the politics of an African warlord. Whoever wrote that is retarded. I'm sorry. And this guy is very based. I like how on Twitch the political debate is between a guy with trash in his background and bugs everywhere, or a dude who electrocutes his dogs in his, and another whose wife is getting piped by a stranger in theirs. I think. Who is that? Is he talking about iDubbbz? Or is he talking about Destiny a couple years back before the divorce? I don't know who that one is, but Hassan Piker, he's not the dude who executes dogs. That is just part of his repertoire. He's also the terrorist-loving Somali pirate, calling him, saying, "You're like Monkey D. Luffy." Ass motherfucker. I do not know how Hassan has never been banned for more than a day on his day off anyway. I've never understood that. But is it though? A lot of retards online. It was a horrible thing to watch. Professional. I don't know. I don't think this woman was professional. This is a bit much. Look, Trump, I appreciate that you stand with all the people who you put out to do your business. However, this is a bit much, man. For those of you just listening, I have viewed the clip. I don't do a good Trump. It's comes from a place where I can't do with all the coughing I got going on. It was horrible. It was a horrible thing to watch. I sound more like Guado from Star Wars. Anyway, the woman was screaming. Obviously, a professional agitator and the woman was driving the car very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously, no, just no. I don't think she saw the dude because, like I said, he walked around from the other side of the car. If he had walked around from the front, I don't think she does this. Or at the very least, she hits the gas and then gives a horn to beep or something, or hits the brake. I don't know, but that's just me. Who seems ran over the ICE officer, didn't run over, attempted to run over, if anything. Who seems to have shot her in self-defense. I'll give him that, but again, a little too quick to pull on the trigger there. Based on the attached clips, it's so hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. That's bullshit. Unless the my depth perception ain't there because the angle the video was shot at. Unless he she clipped his knee. If she clipped him and got him in the hip or the leg, sure. Whatever, but the guy seemed to be walking okay. But I mean, I'll eat humble pie. You know me. I'm all about admitting when I'm wrong. You gotta be. Otherwise, there's no talking to you. Like most people in the commentary space. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers. That part's true. You need to take everything from here to here out. Just take it out. Just saying. Whoever's typing these for you, if you're typing them yourself, bravo for not having the arthritic detriment to your texting ability, sir. But if someone's writing these for you, they should have taken that whole middle section out. I know you'd probably get mad, but the threatening, assaulting, and ICE agents on a daily basis, they are trying to do the job of making America safe. Sure, we need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate. See, I don't disagree with that. Because we all know they're cool with it. The free Luigi shit. God, there's some of the shit on there when Charlie Kirk died. The man was the most milquetoast. Like, he was opinionated, sure. But if you listen to the whole context of a lot of the stuff you're seeing, if you still dislike this man the way that you do, that's on you. He wasn't a bad dude. It's one thing to get mass hatred from Malaysia or faceless breast. Jesus. Well, look. Believe whatever you want, man. She fled.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking...
Sorry. For those of you just listening, I'm clacking away on Twitter for the next 10 minutes. 10 minutes ain't enough time to cover an hour-long video, so this is what you get. But this poignant individual said, now that we have the full footage, which is the video that we watched a second ago, ISIS narrative has completely evaporated. This woman was clearly trying to flee, not hit anyone. My response is, well, she fled directly into an ICE officer. She fled in the direction of a person. I'll say an ICE officer. Agent, fuck, whatever. And I said, but you and dipshits like these two assholes, and I tagged the Krasenstein brothers, trying to make out like she did nothing wrong is astounding. If she wasn't willing to be arrested for the cause, then she have stepped up in the first damn place. And I hope the Krasenstein's at me.
What the fuck? Get back! Get back! Let go! Let go! Whoa! Get back! Get back! Let go! Let go! Whoa!
I mean, yeah, take that. You hear that? Someone's yelling at them, kill someone else. They're trying to be martyrs for the cause, some of these people. Maybe not this poor guy. Look, if they was, like, I had to watch the whole video, but if they was just trying to walk down whatever this was, I didn't see the road at the beginning of this. If they're just trying to walk down the sidewalk, and I was like, okay, so he's stepping in front of them, that's why he did it. But no, they're over here, and for some reason, on this one, I'm not with ICE. I'm not with the protesters either, because you hear the unhinged motherfuckers being like, yeah, shoot someone else. Everyone wants blood. Fuck ICE. The girl with the microphone. That's ironic considering some of the shit that I've seen this girl post. Like this, for example. Breaking. Trump says the woman ran over. Look, this guy, he's very clearly in the front. Now, while I agree, okay, yeah, it looked like she definitely clipped him. However, if he had jumped to the side instead of reaching for his piece, she wouldn't have clipped him. But okay, sure, she clipped him. We'll save that. I don't like Adame Media here. He's a fucker. I appreciate the slowdown, but look, and you're gonna see it just right here in front of this dude's wiener that this guy gets clipped. You're also gonna see on the backside of this guy that he's going to reach for his piece and not move his feet. Do two things at once. Chew gum and walk. Come on now. I love the sound effect. All right. All right, so. All right. So she's backing up. She stops. Her taillights come off. She starts to pull forward. He don't move anything but his gun hand. But again, she clipped him. He probably wasn't injured. At worst, he's got a bruised pelvis or thigh. I'm saying, I'm making facial expressions like y'all can see me, like I got my camera on. Camera ain't coming on until I get properly monetized. But if y'all saw my pretty face, y'all probably wouldn't like me. I'm ugly. I look like Tectone with Tism. But no, like I said, I'm completely unbiased in all this shit. I'll give you my honest opinion. I don't care who gets mad at me. I don't care who loves me. I mean, except for all y'all. But look, I love John Cleese. I love Monty Python, the Holy Grail, the show, everything. Don't meet your heroes, kids. Okay, two unpopular opinions on the Minneapolis shooting. The woman who died was at fault. She was acting erratically, inserted herself into a dangerous situation, and behaved in a way that put both herself and others at risk. True. 100% true. The ICE agent acted on instinct, fired too quickly. True. He should not have escalated to lethal force in that moment. Again, it's instinct. You don't know this man's history. You don't know what kind of shit the man's seen. And she did. Again, ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. You cannot put yourself in these dangerous situations and not expect the feds to pounce on you. But let's continue. We need full body cam footage. I agree, but I don't think they got him. To understand exactly what he perceived. I agree. But based on the video available, it does not appear his life was in immediate danger. I disagree. As the vehicle was moving away. I agree. The first shot, sure. Second and third, whatever. But again, when you watch most of these cop videos, when they start shooting, they'll empty a clip. They'll put a whole clip in you. The left is already calling this blatant murder. It was not. The right is already claiming the woman was trying to kill the agent. I don't believe that either. I don't. Call me a milquetoast fence setter. Tell me I'm straddling the fence, whatever. If I am, I hope it's not barbed wire because my poor balls. But I agree with this person. Do I follow you, person? I'm going to follow you. That's a follow right there. The woman who died acted dangerously and recklessly, and the ICE agent drew and fired his weapon too fast. True. Perfect storm of stupidity and death. If both sides don't pause the political posturing and focus on de-escalation, Minneapolis is head toward another night of chaos, just like George Floyd. I agree, 100%. ICE should temporarily pull back from the community, and leaders on the left need to clearly and forcefully call for calm and nonviolence. I pretty much agree with that statement. There's almost no chance both of those things happen. I completely agree with that. Nobody's going to back down. They're going to sit there and act like they got big balls. Which means this situation will likely get ugly and Minneapolis could burn again. Highly likely. I know this won't make me popular, with either side, but it's just because my initial thoughts on the situation. 100% agree. This dude is based. Agree. Base take. I just saw this while scrolling this. Now this dude is based. What's his name? In tribalism and politics. 100%. Did we just become best friends? Yep. Matter of fact, yeah, I followed you, bro. Did I save it? I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see what this dude's about. Bro, that's awesome. I wish I could believe that was a genuine offer. If it is, hit me up on X. If it's not, I appreciate the hustle, brother. 1 year later, Trump is refusing to release $33.9 billion in fire disaster aid owed to victims. I don't know if I can believe that because Gavin Newsom is a dipshit and a liar. But oh shit, what's his name? But Fuentes thinks that he's no, not Fuentes. Clavicular thinks that he's the handsomer of the two. So yeah, we like his opinion because he's handsome. Shit. No, you're right. There would be a lot of people on the right, just like when Biden got put in office, that get arrested with no trial. But y'all don't care about that. It only counts when it's people who disagree with you. Hassan. Okay, let's see what Hassan thinks. This is the dude that shot the bystander. He wasn't even remotely harmed. He was clipped. She wasn't going fast, but he was clipped. He walked around the scene after killing the 37-year-old woman in Honda. Will MAGA loyalists unconditionally believe Trump's obvious lies? I did not like Trump's statement. 100%. Well, I mean, I like the section except for that little midsection. Yeah, fucking Hassan is a dipshit. He's a grifter. He's what's it called when you're audience captured? He's very much audience captured. He's terrified of his audience. As he should be. They're a bunch of unhinged lunatics. Don't try to run over cops. Turns out they hate that. I mean, I agree, but the guy was a little quick on the draw, or at least on the shot. Less than a year ago, President Biden yeah. Okay, so that's on Venezuela. No, I agree, and she should have full stopped. But like I said, I don't think she saw this vehicle stop on the other side of her. I don't think she saw this stuff happening. Again, she was focused on this dude. Not saying she was in the right, because she wasn't. But there's two sides. Let's see what Tim says. Video shows moment individual is shot and killed by DHS. Vehicle seen accelerating towards a DS officer who fires. Yeah, he fired before sidestepping. He should have sidestepped and not fired. Or maybe shoot out a tire or something. But this did not have to happen. When law enforcement tells you to stop, don't try to run away. Agreed, completely. If this is really Liam Neeson, I didn't know he was this retarded. Yeah, because they literally threw themselves in front of the car. For those of you not watching, someone says, here's a recent video of ICE agents hitting someone with their car and laughing about it. Let's hear the laugh. First of all, we don't know if that's an ICE agent laughing because this is a video taken from outside the car. We don't even know if it's a laugh because you just hear the and it says ICE agent laughing at the bottom. This is a post for headline readers. How much time we got? Okay, last little comment here. A lot of retards out there. Oh, question mark. All right. But anyway, that's been my show today. Again, I apologize I didn't get to the Venezuela shit today, but sometimes it's just how it is. But I very much appreciate all y'all for coming by. It's a very sad thing when a human life leaves this world, especially for such a stupid fucking reason like activism, especially activism when you're wrong. Let's face it, when you're wrong, especially. And you got two dipshits. You got someone who is a hacktivist, someone who doesn't actually. Oh no, hacktivist is when hacker activist. My bad. An activist that is not fully committed. She should have sat there, obliged, and got arrested. I'm saying, if you pull in front of a convoy, most of them are probably expecting to get shot. So with that in their minds, you should be as compliant as possible when they approach you. I'm saying, for your own sake. For your own sake. I hate to say that anybody is the cause of their own demise, but this woman was very much the cause of her own demise. Was the cop a little too quick to the draw? 100%. Should he have stepped out the way instead of drawing his firearm? 100%. Or, here's my theory, do both at the same fucking time. But that being said, that's my opinion. Let me know your opinion down in the comments. Make sure, if you haven't already, give me a follow, a like maybe, or a dislike, whatever. I mean, if you don't like me, don't like me. Tell me how much of an asshole I am in the comments and how wrong I am, and we can have that conversation. But in the meantime, I hope y'all all have a wonderful day. I hope your day goes a lot better than these two motherfuckers. And at the end of the day, two dipshits go into a room, one comes out. It's just sad, man. I'm sorry. I lost it halfway through. It's just, I always try to make light of a heavy situation. But y'all have a wonderful day. We will see you again in the morning. Hopefully with the story that I missed today. Again, sorry I missed the Crowder story about Venezuela. But like I said, if there's nothing else happens today, I'll get it in the morning. Or I'll get I'd love to join your live streams whenever you're at. Okay. But that being said, we'll see you in the morning, and we will also have a Saturday stream, so make sure you drop by for that. It's going to be a longer form show. Those usually go for 2-3 hours.